The bounty hunters. The initial report is frustrating to write, confirming insanity, and a situation where gaining proper control of it is nigh on impossible is not something she wants to pass back to the motherland. Entire worlds taken, worlds offered as gifts. One is apparently soon to be rescued as soon as they can get a ship over. Multiple colony sites, new ship designs, space stations coming in, a massive recruiting effort, a gigantic baby boom on the way. Immortality, enough wealth to gold-plate the moon. Enough religions to give the Pope the bends trying to keep them all straight. More hideous crimes against decency, personhood, and sanity than can be counted. Populations that casually have trillions of people for every one human alive. How and where do we engage with this? How do you control a raging maelstrom older than the world? You don't. An unfamiliar voice says from behind her, and her gun is out and leveled at the source before another noise can be made. Nice reflexes, the Midnight Black Panther woman says. The woman's in some kind of strange skin-tight suit with the hood pulled back and mask hanging around her neck. No visible weapon, but that doesn't mean she's not armed. Could use some work, though. She's let herself go to the point she's creaking. A similar voice says from the other side, and she turns to regard nothing but empty air. Empty air that crackles to reveal another such woman with the hood and mask up. Are either of you going to give me a reason to not pull this trigger? We're allies, one says. We're just making sure nothing stupid happens. The other continues as she removes her mask and lowers her hood. You seem to get it. So we're keeping you safe. Do I look like I need protection? Madame Stepanova asks. Yes. They answer as one, and she frowns. I do not. And stop the twin routine. You're clearly different people. The build of your faces says as much. Oh, don't you? Did you not come here as a potential assassin? Aren't you here to kill if things are going wrong? One of them asks. Yes, if needed. What makes you think that your own underlings don't have similar orders? That they're not here to kill you if you get compromised, or perceived as compromised? What makes either of you women think that I don't want that? I would rather die than betray the motherland. Madame Stepanova asks tartly. Oh, scary, one says. Big words are easy to say, hard to back up. The other mentions. Our order has something similar, die before you betray it. But we ran into the Chainbreaker boys when we went to execute a pair of sisters who betrayed it for money. Oaths are easy to say, harder to fulfill. Who are you? Madame Stepanova asks, and there are some giggles. If you start a schoolgirl routine, there will be protests at ballistic speeds. I am Nui. Swar is my name. We are sworn sisters of the twin-shot assassins, or twin-shot snipers as humans tend to call us. Apparently, long-range precision combat is called sniping for your kind. We've never hunted the snipe bird, so it's strange to call us that. Nuit remarks. Languages drift and borrow, sister. They see us as ones who could reliably kill a tiny, well-hidden target moving fast, snipes being one such case. Swar answers calmly. There's the slight click of a safety being flicked off. Oh, put it away, my sister and I have already hardened our fur and skin against kinetic attacks. You might crack a bone with that thing. She flicks the safety back on and tucks the gun away with a snarl of disgust. Axiom use is cheating. Not at all. We know you're armed and dangerous with kinetics, so we hardened ourselves against them. Those things travel so fast and catch people off guard so quickly that they're generally extremely dangerous. Nuit remarks as she steps over and sits on the desk that Madame Stepanova was working at. We have some questions, Swar says, and Madame Stepanova sighs. Meaning, I won't get the piece to work until you have an answer for them. The questions help you too. Nui notes, and Stepanova just shoots a glare between them both. All right, one of you or the other speak. The trading back and forth has overstayed its welcome to the point that I'm actively hostile to it. There's a smile passed between the two, and they glance at each other. Nui shrugs and Swar nods. All right, I'll explain things then, frankly too. First, the galaxy is too big, isn't it? Too much space to control, too many people and places and little hidey holes for there ever to be any form of government that actually keeps it all safe. You can pretend you've got it protected, but if you kill the engines and scramble your axiom pattern properly, you can drift a ship to anywhere in a system and you'd need to be close enough to physically see it to stop it. After that, it only reveals itself when it's in orbit, and if that beast has a bomb, it's already game over. Yes, Madame Stepanova states tartly. She doesn't like it. She really doesn't like it. But they are undoubtedly correct. It's nigh on impossible to root out all the dissidents in the motherland. Doing so for a galaxy? Absurd. With that said, you have to surrender the illusion of control. Swar begins before holding up a hand at the sour look on Madame Stepanova's face. This isn't some philosophical bullshit, I promise. It better not be. It's not. It's my leading you into some examples to help understanding. The galaxy is too big to control, and although there's a lot of scaling issues with the metaphor, we do have one that most races understand, including humans. Spit it out then. In the age of sail, there were colonies, weren't there? The meetings of peoples from all over your world, and Swear tapers off as Madame Stepanova raises a hand to cut her off. I understand. Issues of scale aside, this is like the age of sail. Yes, now, how hard was it to police that? Nearly impossible. All it took was one official captain getting too unpopular with their crew to turn a naval vessel into a pirate ship. She replies before thinking. That's the illusion of control. I see. The people of those days could master the sea and winds, but never control them. In these days, captains and crews can master space itself and yet never control it. There's always another planet or hidden moon or asteroid base that you can find an entire civilization of supposed criminals that won't follow your rules and laws. Are they even criminals at that point? You can claim the territory, but are you bringing law or war? Our branch of the Twin Shot was stationed at Octaron Spin, a pirate port, a self-built haven for criminals with only a few actual rules, one of them being that there is no outside law in that place. It is specifically not controlled by any government and therefore illegal to all of them, but it's also outside of their jurisdiction. No way to control it. No way to keep anything but what's ostensibly yours under control. Humans have a heavy advantage in that regard. Your homeworld is in cruel space, something that was regarded as a barren, lifeless wasteland until now. The probe that was sent in was a curiosity to see if there actually was something there. A signal flare sent into the darkness to see if there was anything to see. Then a giant ship comes out. No one expected that. A giant ship crewed by sex-obsessed men. Less than no one expected that. A giant ship crewed by sex-obsessed men that are also extremely capable warriors, because this wasn't some lost warship of impossible design, but the best of the best from an isolated race born and bred in the darkness. When you put it like that, then it makes the Dauntless sound like something out of a fantasy. Is it not? The rules and laws of the galaxy are so different in cruel space, you may as well be from another universe with only half the known types of physics. No first contact goes easily. Most Poncero's queendoms and colonies outright tried to fight the strangers from the stars, mistaking the bald horrors for demons so depraved that their fur had burnt away under the fire of their sins. No one reacts well to first contact, no matter what period in their race's development it occurs. Nui adds, no matter what, there's going to be blood and death and confusion and pain. The sooner it's over with, the sooner your race can fully, truly join us. And the best way to get what we want is to join you people. Madame Stepanova grumps before thinking. Maybe these two could be of some more use. I need a way to get solid proof back to Earth about what's going on. We received exotic metals, minerals, and non-functioning technology with numerous small samples of preserved alien life. But more is needed. You two are assassins from a more gray and black market part of the galaxy, are you not? What are you looking for? Suar asks. I need bodies. Dead bodies that can be dissected to show things are accurate. As many races as possible and able to be frozen for the multiple-month trip through cruel space to Earth, Madame Stepanova says, and both assassins look to each other in surprise. There may be some options for that. It's not legal, but it's not something anyone really high up cares about. So if you're fine severely pissing off some mid-level authority, then we can help with that easily. Keep talking. There are a fair number of systems and a fair number of spires on Centris with the death penalty. The population numbers are high enough that you should be able to get a fair number of corpses by bribing the right officials pretty quickly, Suar says, and Nui groans. You don't even need to go that far. Vat grow a few clones to full size and never wake them up. Ship them through cruel space and things are an even lighter shade of gray. Much more expensive, though. Nui offers, and Madame Stepanova glances from one to the other with a slight grin. So you two have some brains. Good, we need that. We're staying with the Chainbreaker, which is leaving within a day of arriving at Centris. You and your ship are to be sent to the Dauntless right away. Pity. I assume it's because you're phenomenally bonded to one of the Chainbreaker. Bora Tang, sweet, quick, scrappy, and very much willing to do whatever he needs to get what he wants. And he wanted a pair of Poncero's lovers. So he took advantage of his natural pheromones to all but addict you two. Yes, the fact that he also understands us, our combat style, and respects us while being able to keep up with us. Most of the time we're together, he's working on mastering the highest grade of laser and plasma rifles or teaching us all the intricacies of human sniping. The extreme ranges you have by comparison are fascinating. Madame Stepanova snorts in derision. She needs to finish up with these two then, and then finish the report, and then get some sleep, Suar recommends. We looked into the ship logs. You've been awake for 43 hours straight. For a young human, that's impressive. For an older one, that's dangerous. Get some rest. I need to finish my report. You're going to kill yourself at this rate. Get some rest. The answers aren't going anywhere. The report isn't going anywhere. And if you're not well rested and alert, then you'll only reduce the quality of your work rather than deliver the best you can offer. Suar continues, taking a fair amount of the argument out of Madame Stepanova's sails. Besides, your report's only half done before arriving on Centris and assessing the situation with the Dauntless and what it's involved in. Haste makes waste. That's something all three of us know very well. It takes another half hour of arguing with the two oversized and overinflated catwomen before Anastasia lets herself hit the pillow.